morning, Chantel. I understand that we're both going to be healthcare professionals in the future, so we might be working together. So why don't you tell me a little bit about what your future role is?
So I'm going to be becoming a physiotherapist, and I'm just currently working towards taking my exam. And what is your future profession?
So I'm going to be a certified vision rehabilitation therapist. So just as a physio is, a CVRT is a professional, they're governed through the Academy for Certification of Vision Rehabilitation Education Professionals, ACVREP for short, which is probably the acronym I'm going to use from now on. But to be able to become part of the ACVRP practice, there are some steps that you need to take, just like you did with your physio, go to school, that kind of thing. So to become certified, you must have a bachelor's degree or a certificate with a focus on VRT or vision rehabilitation therapy from an accredited university or college. You also have to have 350 hours of supervised practice from an already certified VRT. And you also must pass the vision rehabilitation therapy exam. That's through the ACVREP. You have any questions about what it takes to become a CVRT professional?
No, I think you answered those quite well. Thank you.
So I don't know, do you know much about what a CVRT does?
To be honest, I know nothing. I'll be honest.
Well, what they do is they teach people different skills on how to function day to day for people with vision loss. So they will teach people different skills that fall into their scope of practice that include independent living skills, so cooking, cleaning, so any personal or home management skills they would help someone with. They also teach people how to read Braille, how to use different assistive technology devices, and they teach them some orientation and mobility within their home. So just how to navigate space within a building. They don't do outside. That's what an orientation and mobility specialist is for.
Okay.
And they also help with some environmental adaptations to prevent falls.
Okay.
And do you have any questions about what they might do?
I was going to say, so what would something be like to prevent them from falling? What would something...
So making sure that tripping hazards are out of the way. So maybe if they have a glass coffee table, teaching them to put maybe a coffee, what do you call them? Tablecloth on them, or a colorful vase or something to show that it's there, so they're not tripping over it, or just teaching them to put things back in the same place so that they know where they are.
That's good.
Yeah. So who we work with is anyone who experiences vision loss. So these could be people who have congenital blindness or blindness from birth, or people with adventitious blindness, so later in life. And I don't know if you understand, but people with vision loss can be anyone from partial sight, so low vision, they can still see light, color, read large print, all the way to people with absolutely no vision. So there's a range of vision loss that we work with.
That's really cool.
Do you have any questions about that?
No, you answered all of them.
Good, I'm glad. A lot of people wonder where we work with our clients. So according to ACVRP, we work in a variety of locations. So we can work in hospitals with clients who are really new to vision loss. We can work in senior living facilities, so older clients who are new to vision loss if they're living in a senior's home. We work in education settings, so anyone who is a student who experiences vision loss, we can work with their teachers, their educational assistants, their teachers for students with visual impairments on any of those day-to-day activities that they might have difficulty with. And then, of course, in rehabilitation services settings such as Canadian National Institute for the Blind or Vision Loss Rehabilitation, people can come to us, and in their homes as well. We want to work with the clients where they're going to be performing those tasks, just to make it more practical for them.
Right, that makes sense.
Yeah. Any questions about that?
No, you answered it because you had said, like, in the beginning you had said you primarily work in the house, but you obviously do learning all those other activities and recreational things kind of in those settings, so it's more applicable, hey?
Yeah.
Is that right? Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
So when we work with a client, all depends on when they feel ready. We can't force someone to be like, you need to learn to do this. It's what they need and when they need it. So generally a client for us at Vision Loss Rehabilitation will give us a call and say, I need help doing XYZ. We'll then do an intake with them and do a further assessment, asking a whole variety of questions, asking if they're having difficulties with their medication, any home management things, any recreation or leisure activities that they used to do but feel they can't because of their vision loss now. So we can teach them different tips and tricks, or even recreation activities that they've never done but are interested in doing. Okay. Any questions about who, what, where, when, why?
And would you travel all across Saskatchewan to assist?
Yeah,
clients?
For us here in Saskatchewan, we have two students right now to become CVRTs. Hopefully within the next year and a bit we're both certified. And then I would cover all of the north, so anything from Davidson, which is halfway in the province basically, north I would cover, and then my counterpart would cover south. So we travel hundreds of kilometers to see clients.
Cool. Yeah, that's awesome. Very accessible then, hey,
Yeah.
for people, which is good.
So one other question that we get quite often is, how would somebody find the services if they had no idea? So if you go to the ACVREP website, which is just acvrep.org, and go to the verify link, you can search by area to find ACVRT, and that will give you an idea who is certified in your area. And then in Canada here, pretty much all CVRTs either work in the school system or through Vision Loss Rehabilitation, which is CNIB, Canadian National Institute for the Blind's new name. So you could find your local CNIB and Vision Loss Rehabilitation and ask to speak to an independent living skills specialist. That's what they call their CVRTs.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you have any questions about what we talked about?
So is being a CVRT new to Saskatchewan then, or are you guys just training? Like we're just getting two new students?
It's not new. Vision Loss Rehabilitation has gotten their funding from the government over the last 2 years. So Vision Loss Rehabilitation Canada is having all of their independent living skills specialists become certified. They weren't necessarily certified before, but we did have a CVRT in Saskatchewan for the last, I believe, 4 years, but she moved away to Alberta. So we were left without a CVRT, so now we have 2 students, and hopefully they'll be certified soon so we can service our clients better.
Awesome.
All right.
Yeah.
That's all then?
That's all.
Well, thank you for sitting down and having this conversation with me.
And thanks for having me.